A flooded river is 14 feet above its normal level. The water is receding at a rate of 8 inches each day. When the river is within 3 feet of normal level, the residents in the area will be able to use the roads around it. Write a function to represent current levels and make a table of function values. Then write an equation with the output value of 3 feet. Graph both to determine how many days it will take for the roads to be safe to use again. Okay, so let's just call this equation f of x, and that's going to be the current water level. And so we know that our water level is starting at 14, and then it tells us that it's receding, or in other words, it's going down at a rate of 8 inches each day. Well, 14 feet, that's in feet, and so to convert, let's go ahead and convert the 8 inches into feet as well. So to put 8 inches in terms of feet, then we know that if we just take, well, 8 inches is out of 12 inches in a foot. And so that gives us the proportion of foot. And so if we simplify that, dividing by 4 on top and bottom, then you get 2/3. And so 8 inches is the same thing as 2/3 of a foot. And that's just by putting it in a proportion with, with out of how many inches is in a foot. And so let's go ahead. So this originally, we could have put, well, that's minus 8/12, and then times x, the number of days, and then simplifying that as we did there on the right, then we know it would be 14 minus 2/3 x. And now it says to make a table of values, and so if we were to make a table of values, then we could have the input x and the output f of x. And so say we put in 0, we get 14 minus 2/3 times 0, that's just 0, so 14 minus 0 is just 14. If we put in 1, we get 14 minus 2/3, which would be, I'm just going to do this in decimal, it's a little bit easier, and so that would be about 13.3 repeating. If we put in 2, 14 minus 2/3 times 2, well, that would be minus 4/3, multiplying that, and so 14 minus 4/3 would give us 12.6 repeating, and you can do these in a calculator or mentally. If we put in 3, 14 minus 2/3 times 3, well, that would just end up, the 3's would just cancel to 1, and so that'd be 14 minus 2, which would be 12, and so on. And so we see that it's going down by 2/3 every single time, and so we want to know when will this equal 3 in the f of x section. And so to do that, then it says write an equation with the output value of 3 feet. And so an output value of 3 feet, well, output is just the y, or f of x. And so, well, what if y is equal to 3? And so we can go ahead and put that in the calculator. And if we find the intersection of these two, then we should be able to see when will this reach the level of 3 feet. And so we can go ahead and go into our calculator and then go to our y equals, and in y1 I'll go ahead and put our f of x equation, and then in y2 I'll go ahead and put y equals 3. So now we can go ahead and graph that, and in my current window, just with a 10 by 10 window, then I can't actually see where the intersection is, so I'm going to go to my window, and I'm actually just going to extend my x maximum to 20, just doubling that to see if I can see it, and I'm also going to make the y maximum a little bit bigger. I'll just make that go to 15, and that way we could see where it starts to. Okay, so now we see our y equals 3 and our other function, and we can find the intersection. So go to second trace, and then go to 5, intersect, and then you just go to the first curve or left of that intersection, and then on the second curve I need to go to the right of the intersection, and now I can press enter, and it shows the intersection is at 16.5, and then y equals 3. And so that just means that our x, or the number of days, is going to be 16.5 when it reaches a normal level of 3 feet again. So let's go ahead and summarize our answer. The function where x is the number of days is f of x equals 14 minus 8/12 x equals 14 minus 2/3 x. The equation for the water to be 3 feet above the normal level is y equals 3. The graph intersects the point 16 and 5/10, 3, meaning that after 16.5 days, the roads will be safe to use again.